We have lost the art of becoming wise. Not intelligence, we're drowning in that. I mean wisdom. The kind that roots itself in silence, in patience, in the listening heart. Once people learned wisdom from stories, tales that held both beauty and terror, the kind that make you question what it is to be good, to be brave, to be alive. But in our world of speed and noise, we've replaced those stories with distraction. We scroll, we skim, we consume, but we no longer contemplate. Maybe that's why I'm here in the gorge they call Lud's Church. A place that still whispers the old myths and green spirits. The story goes that this chasm in the earth inspired one of Britain's oldest legends, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. A knight of King Arthur's court, faced with a challenge that forces him to confront the limits of courage and the truth of his own soul. Neither villain nor saint, appears as nature itself, vast, alive, unbending. He asks only one thing: will you honour your word when the world turns against you? To walk to Lud's Church is to walk that question yourself, because here beneath the dripping stone and endless green, you feel watched, not by people, but by something ancient. If you don't know the story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, I will give you a shortened version now. Long ago, in the legendary court of King Arthur's Camelot, a strange figure appeared one snowy New Year's Eve. He was a giant of a man, but not an ordinary one. His skin, his hair, even his horse were green as emeralds. In one hand, he held an axe, in the other, a holy branch, a sign of peace. The Green Knight challenged the Knights of Camelot to a game. Any man brave enough could strike him once with his axe, on one condition. Then in a year and a day, he would return the blow in kind. The hall fell silent. No one dared move. Then Sir Gawain, Arthur's youngest knight, and his nephew stepped forward. Modest but bold, he said, "I am the weakest, but my life is least missed. I will take this challenge." Gawain lifted the axe and with one clean stroke cut off the Green Knight's head. The head rolled across the floor, but to everyone's horror, the body didn't fall. The Green Knight picked up his own head, turned to Gawain, and the head spoke. "Seek me in the Green Chapel in a year and a day, so I may return your blow." Then he rode away laughing. A year passed. True to his word, Gawain set out to find the Green Chapel. He faced winter storms, wild beasts, and endless trails, until he came across a remote castle. The lord of the castle, Sir Bertilac, welcomed him warmly, and they made a pact. Each day, Bertilac would give Gawain whatever he hunted, and Gawain would return whatever he received in the castle. While the lord hunted, Lady Bertilac tested Gawain's honour, trying to seduce him. Gawain resisted, only accepting a kiss each day, which he dutifully returned to the lord that evening. But on the final day, the lady offered a green silk girdle, promising that it would protect him from harm. Gawain accepted it and kept it a secret. At last, Gawain found the Green Chapel, similar to Lud's Church in the woods. The Green Knight stood waiting, sharpening his axe. The first swing, Gawain flinched. The second, the knight stopped short to test his courage. And then the third, the blade grazed his neck, drawing a drop of blood. The Green Knight laughed and revealed the truth. He was Sir Bertilac, transformed by Morgan Le Fay's magic to test the Knights of Camelot. The first two feigned blows were for the days Gawain had been honest. The final cut was for the day he hid the girdle. Ashamed but alive, Gawain confessed his failure. The Green Knight forgave him, calling him the most honourable of men. Gawain returned to Camelot wearing the green girdle as a reminder of his human weakness, and the Knights of the Round Table honoured him for his honesty. A lesson of true bravery lies not in perfection, but in owning our flaws. As you can see, it's so easy to draw parallels with Lodge Church and the Green Knight. The air changes as soon as you walk into the gorge. Every sound is dampened as if the forest is holding its breath. You start to feel small in a way that isn't humiliating but holy. That's what Edmund Burke called the sublime, the meeting of beauty and terror. It's what makes you aware of your mortality, of the thin thread between control and surrender. Standing here, you begin to understand why our ancestors told stories about gods in the rivers and spirits in the trees. They weren't superstitious, they were paying attention. There's a kind of intelligence in the earth that doesn't speak our language. You can't Google it or you can't download it. You have to walk it. You have to get lost and get wet and cold until your senses sharpen. That's when you start to hear the myths differently, the stories differently. In The Green Knight, nature tests a man's pride. It strips him of his illusion of control. It doesn't punish him for being human. It just refuses to let him forget that he is. When I was younger, I thought wisdom came from collecting facts. I'm really good at collecting an ungodly amount of useless facts. But wisdom isn't information. It's transformation. It's what happens when you let experience change you. Fairy tales once did that to us. They allowed us to meet our own shadows safely, to face hunger, fear, jealousy, and grief through symbols and imagination. Today, we hide from those parts of ourselves and we prefer comfort over confrontation, but comfort never made anyone wise. That's why stories are so beautiful. The Green Knight taught that virtue isn't tested in peace, it's tested when you're afraid, when you're standing alone in the forest, uncertain of what awaits around the bend. That's when stories become real. That's when the land becomes scripture. Here in Lodge Church, it feels as though the earth has cracked open to let you walk inside its memory. People once gathered here to hide from the church, to worship in secret, to speak freely. Maybe wisdom has always belonged to those who wander off the path. I think about how the forest doesn't hurry, how moss grows whether you're watching or not. Maybe becoming wise is simply learning to move at the pace of things that last. The digital world offers us immediacy, but not depth. The forest offers us silence, but meaning grows there like roots. As I leave this place, I realise that wisdom isn't something you find, it's something that you truly deeply remember. The Green Knight's lessons wasn't about perfection. It was about honesty, the courage to meet yourself, flaws and all. Lodge Church doesn't demand belief, it invites awareness. It says, pay attention. Because when you do, you might just hear the earth answer back. So next time you crave clarity or meaning, don't look for another screen. Go where the stories still breathe. Walk into the forest. Let the rain find you. And remember, wisdom is still waiting right there where it's always been. Stay curious, stay brave, stay human.